Hey guys, it's Joe, the 50-something Dasher, and in today's video, I've been meaning to do this video for a while now. It's the video that I wanted to record on the various different bags and gear that I use, the insulated bags, hot bags, and the different gear that I use when I'm out on my deliveries. So I'll show you all of the different bags that I use and what I do, how I got them, how I use these bags, all the different, tips and tricks or whatever for, that you need to know for the hot bags and the other types of bags. I originally wanted to shoot this kind of like found footage style on my cell phone, selfie style, but it just takes so long to transfer videos from my phone to the computer. I mean, it takes an eternity. So I've come up with the idea, oh, why don't I just move the iMac to the garage? There you go. And that's going to make this whole process 10 times easier on me. But anyway, let's start with the hot bags. This is the very first thing, of course, that you get from DoorDash. It is in your welcome kit is the hot bags. Tilt this up so that I'm in the picture here. Let's see here. It's about as high as I can tilt it. That'll work. And so what I do, I think I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but so what I do is I double these bags up. So I started dashing with just one bag, and then I got a second bag somewhere down the line, and it's been a while since I've gotten them, but so I don't know if when the next time they're going to do this, if they're going to do it anymore. But DoorDash was regularly sending these $10 coupons for the store, and with no minimum purchase. So that's how I believe that's how I got all of my 4 hot bags. I don't know. I really can't remember. May have paid for 2 of them. Done like where you get on the store and you buy the 2 hot bags plus the red card. I may have done that, but at least 2 of the bags were free. But anyway, I double them up. So if I can get this one on the inside out here. So basically, you see the top of this has been cut off. So I cut off the whole zipper assembly. So this is like an older bag. And then once I got the newer bags, I take the older ones, I cut off the zipper and then put this inside the other bag. The other thing you want to do, the little clear plastic bottoms that you get for these bags, I use both of them. So both of those are inside this bag here. And another thing, then there's a third piece that I put in, and that is I just take any old cardboard box and take one of those clear plastic bottoms and cut out a cardboard piece that is that exact same size. And I put the cardboard piece in here as well. And what that does is that when these sit in my car, so when it's sitting in the car, you see with the 2 clear pieces and the cardboard, the bag always stands, and because it's doubled up, the bag always stands up like this. I know, like, when I used to have just the one hot bag, it's always like folding over and you have to keep standing it up and open it up and messing with it. This is always standing up and it's always open. Now, you can see it is kind of closed again. I mean, you do have to, put your hands in, separate it out a little bit, but it's a lot better this way than just the single bag with the one clear bottom piece. This works a lot better. Um, and I was gonna say something else about the hot bags. Maybe not. Maybe I'll think of it here in a second. Um, Also, I keep in the very front here in my passenger seat. This is my, and I may have talked about in other videos, this is my drink carrier that I got off of Amazon. And these typically run somewhere in that like $20 to $30 range. They're not that expensive. I think it's a really good investment. Um, but you can get different sizes of them as well. This one is this holds six. You see the six compartments there. So it holds six drinks, but it doesn't have to. This is all Velcro on the inside. These side compartment pieces, and I can just take these off and configure this any way I want to. I know from like Smoothie King, sometimes I picked up a couple bowls from there. So I just collapse one of these compartments to make one bigger compartment, and then boom, there you put your bowl in there. So you can take all of these out if you want and just have one big compartment. It's however you want to configure it. And these are really nice, especially in the summertime. Because I worried about that, dashing for the first time in the summer and picking up like smoothies and frosties from Wendy's, and I'd pick up shakes and ice cream from Dairy Queen. And I'm thinking to myself, I mean, this stuff's gonna like, even with my air conditioning on in my car, this stuff's gonna melt. And so I got one of these things. It works really good, and the customers, any of the customers on when I on hand to customer orders, they're always like real impressed that I use something like this. It's a really good investment. In the back seat on the floor is where I talked about in a recent video how I have extra drink carriers. So, and I've already used these like a couple different times, but I have like an extra 4 drink carrier from Smoothie King. Here's this kind. I have like a couple of those, and these, I think these are just the little ones that just hold like 2 drinks. If I can separate this out here. No, this holds 4. Huh. So I have 2 of those things. Just anytime, where like sometimes like the places will give me an extra one accidentally, or they give me one of these things, but there's only one drink, and the customer doesn't want the drink carrier, and so that's how I kind of build up these extra drink carriers, and I use them. I had a Wendy's order just a few days ago with 2 drinks on it. They didn't give me a drink carrier, so I used one of these. Comes in handy. Okay, next is let's talk about the pizza bags. So I have 2 pizza bags. So the first one I got from and I didn't pay for either one of these. The first one I got from a pizza place. Which one was it? Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It's one that I don't go to very often here in my zone, and I don't eat there as a customer either. I can't remember the name of it, but I went there to pick up an order. This particular pizza place, they require Dashers to have pizza bags. I didn't have one. You know, they asked me, and I said, no, I don't have one. And I said, you know, DoorDash doesn't provide that. And at the time, I said, I don't want to spend any money on getting one. So the guy says, okay, and turns around and goes over to this corner where there was a box sitting there and a whole box of these things. He just, you know, grabs one out of the box and gives me my order, and it gives me the pizza bag. So if you don't have one and you go to these various different pizza places, just ask them if they have any DoorDash pizza bags, and one of them might have some, and you can get one that way. The other bag I got with one of my $10 coupons that I mentioned, and because I'm pretty sure these are less than $10, they're like 8 or 9 or something like that. Another thing is, one last thing I'll mention about the pizza bags is you don't have to use these for pizzas. So it's designed to put, you know, pizzas in, and then you hold both of these handles and you carry it, you know, like that. Well, you can also, and I saw this on another gig tuber's channel, but you can also put stuff in it, have the bag stand up like this, and uh, open it, you know, and then put stuff in and carry it like this, just like one of the hot bags. And so I've used that. I've used a pizza bag like that before in the past too, where I already had stuff in my two hot bags and needed a third hot bag, so I just use this. Now, if one of your orders is, or one of my orders is like a bigger order, then I would use my catering bag for like a third hot bag option. But so that's the pizza bags. Last but certainly not least is my catering bag. Now this has actually got like a little bit of a tear in it in one corner, but it still works okay. It's still holding up good. But anyway, that's what the catering bag looks like. If you get asked to be on the catering program with DoorDash, you don't have to use a DoorDash catering bag. You just have to take a photo of any catering bags. You can, you know, get on Amazon and get a different brand or whatever, or maybe you've driven for one of the other platforms and gotten a catering bag through them, and you can use that. Doesn't have to be a DoorDash catering bag. Oh, there's the tear in mine right here in this corner. You can see it. There it is. So at some point here before too long, I'll need to get another one. Couple things on the catering bag. I think, and I've used this for myself as well on the food and stuff that I get for myself, and I think this does the job. Is it like the best catering bag you can get? Well, probably, of course not, but I think it works well enough. I mean, I've taken orders to customers and in this thing and opened the bag up, and the stuff's still like steaming hot. So I mean, I think it works well enough. Now, if you, the important thing is, if you get this off the DoorDash website, let's say you've been wanting to get into the large order slash catering program and you haven't been selected yet, and you're in the process of trying to get on it, well, the best thing to do is to purchase one of these off of the DoorDash store. I want to say it's like 35, 39 bucks, something like that, but you can easily look that up. Just go to the DoorDash store on online. And when you go to check out, or you'll see it in the checkout process. There's a box to put your driver ID code in, and you'll want to put your code in that box. If you don't know what your driver ID is, then get on a chat with DoorDash support and just ask them in the chat, "Hey, what's my ID code?" And they'll give it to you. It's as simple as that. And I purchased this bag. It was this past, like, it was either like February or March, something like that. And I want to say that it was only maybe like 3 weeks before I bought this off of the website. I put in my driver code, and probably about 3 weeks later, I got an email saying, "Hey Joe, tomorrow you're on the large order slash catering program. Congratulations." Oh, great. Okay, thank you. And then off I went on the catering program. So that's the kind of like I got onto it. That was like the fast track approach to get on by well, first becoming a top dasher and being on that for a month or so, and then purchasing this bag and using my code. Um, okay. So I remember now. There was one other thing I was going to say about the hot bags, just your regular hot bags, and I remember now what that was. So, it I unless it's raining outside, typically I know a lot of dashers do this. Many of them don't. But unless it's raining, I don't take my hot bags into the restaurant. And the primary reason for that is when you're going to put food into one of these bags, if it's sitting in one of the seats in my car, this is like the perfect, in my opinion, this is the perfect height for the bag to be, for me to go and like open this up and drop something down into that sack. My car seat is like just the right height for doing that. If you take it into the restaurant, you got to either set it up on a counter that's a lot higher than that. You're sitting here going like this, messing with the bag and trying to put the bag in, and it's too high to be doing that. Or you're setting your hot bag down on the ground and bending over to try to sit. There's nothing in these restaurants, unless there's some kind of like waiting seat bench or something, like the IHOP that I go to. There's like this long bench that people can sit on while they're waiting for orders. But most places aren't going to have something like that. So wherever you go to sit your bag, or maybe some dashers try to hold it with one hand and put this sack. That'd be kind of hard to do, I think. But in a restaurant, wherever you're going to be setting the bag, chances are it's going to be too high or too low. So I just grab the order inside the restaurant, and I don't see a problem, which is it's gonna go into a hot bag. And so I walk out to my car, the hot bag's right there in my seat, perfect height. I put the order in and zip it up and go to the delivery. And another thing about that, another tip here, is whichever of these bags that I use, and some of the orders I use multiple bags. So I might have one of the hot bags and my drink bag, or I might have the catering bag, and any combination of 2 or 3 of the bags that I'm using, or just one. But whatever I use, when I do leave at the door orders, I take the foods out of the bag, set them where I'm going to set them, and then have in the foreground of where I'm going to take my picture, like, you know, a few feet away from the food, I put the whatever bags that I used. And then on my insulated drink carrier bag, if I use that, I open it up so that and they can see the silver lining insulation in there, so they can see what it is. And then my equipment is in the picture with the food, so that the customer, you know, the restaurant may not see me with a hot bag, but there's proof that I used one, because when I do the drop off and take my picture, my bags are in the picture. And so there's my proof. So as long as DoorDash and the customer knows that I'm using them, hey, that should be good. Um, so that's my video on the equipment that I use. If you have any other questions for me about the use of the different hot bags or whatever, let me know in the comments. And hopefully this video was of some kind of benefit to somebody, hopefully. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch my other videos if you haven't done so already. And thank you very much for your time and watching this video.